Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, say this is the morning podcast with Jacob and Ethan.
This is hell.
Yeah, now that the podcast is officially started, I'd like to start with all the shit Jacob's done wrong this morning. First off, instead of being in the coldest, quietest part of the house with the best sound quality, he chooses to put us in an attic.
I said the downstairs. We were sitting downstairs.
We were at breakfast. I said we could go downstairs. There's no AC unit, and it's going to be cooler, and there's better sound.
We were at the wedding, sitting around the table, and I said, we should maybe record downstairs. And you were all like, let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs.
Dude, you don't have any...
And once we get a plan, we stay with that plan.
No.
You said that. You said that.
Well, you realize how loud it's going to be down there because all the sound's going to echo from all the 50 people that are down there now. There's a sea of humanity down there.
I hate to tell you this. It's going to sound fine either way. Even though the door is making way more noise than the AC unit that was keeping us alive.
That is a very fair point. It sounds like a prisoner's trying to get in, and it's my children. Children.
For those... Also,
these are my children.
Welcome to Breakfast is War. With
Breakfast is hell.
Breakfast is hell.
That was your request.
There's
that's
maybe shouldn't have to.
Why are you up here, children?
It changes from week to week.
Bye.
Anyway.
Bye, Julie.
Thank you.
Bye, Dominic.
My children, everyone.
We're joined by Zach Erock. Zach's from Kansas City, and he's got 2 kids. And they burst into the room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan there with a mouthful of food.
Ethan's got to chew.
Just going to town on that McDonald's over there.
Oh,
No,
dude,
not yet. I'm going to get into it, though.
We got a bag full of McDonald's up here, which is about all you ever really need to say about McDonald's. You just got a bag full of it.
Yeah, it's just you don't even you just order a generic. Give me a bag full. A bag full of what? No, it doesn't matter. They know what you're talking about. They just take a bunch of crap and load it in the brown bag. They twist the top like there's 2 40s in there, and you go hide your shame and eat it under an overpass.
It's kind of like getting a brown bag from a liquor store, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of that equivalent. There's the same shame, right?
Right. There's just you're carrying it around. You're not gonna let anybody see what you're taking out of it.
And people can spot those golden arches on the bag from a mile away. They
know
know
what
you
you're
have your
doing.
McDonald's.
I like what you said about twisting the top of the bag, because when people bring it, like, if you go pick up McDonald's and bring it home, it definitely, from the top of the bag, it looks like a full diaper. Like,
yeah,
that's the first thing you think of. It's like a brown bag crumpled at the top, similar to a very soggy full diaper.
Yeah, you're thinking, double wrap that in a plastic bag, and then we'll put it in someone else's trash can because we don't want to smell up our own house. I get that. I have the children. I get
I
this.
don't understand why he's still eating, though. It's like he's really freaking hungry.
Well, you can't see this, but he went from McDonald's. Now he's hammering at a little egg casserole on a paper plate. That's lovely.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought this podcast was about breakfast.
It is about breakfast.
And we're talking about breakfast now. It's just you're the one who's eating it.
Right. We're sitting and watching you eat breakfast. Yeah, so what's new? What's been new in the world? What's the big topics? Do we want to get into the Rona?
I thought we were going to talk about Uncle Ron.
Oh, yeah, we got to get Ethan. Ethan's got to tell us who Uncle Ron is.
I feel like people have been talking about Uncle Ron all weekend, honestly.
Tired of Ron?
He was a big topic at the wedding.
Well, I have a substantial gripe.
Look. Oh, what's your gripe?
No one else is going to care. But Yurok weddings, the hot dogs are like...
There was no hot dogs?
No, there were hot dogs, okay? Hot dogs are an integral part of a Czech wedding. They come out midway through the dancing. Everyone goes wild on the hot dogs. They're the best hot dogs you've ever had. They're gourmet. They have a blend of garlic in there and herbs and spices. And the meat, it tastes meaty. It's unlike any hot dog you've ever had. They're fantastic at most weddings. Well, Uncle Ron decided this time that we had to have Nathan's hot dogs, so he pushed my dad into getting Nathan's hot dogs. And sure enough, we got Nathan's hot dogs. And they are nowhere near as good as, like, yours, Ethan's. The ones at your wedding were phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know why we deviated.
I think Ron was trying to screw us with inferior hot dogs, and then he left before they were served.
Hey, those kids are banging on the door.
They are.
Yeah. You want to know some bullshit with Ron? Okay. So I'm the only one at this freaking reception wearing a mask. Me and the servers. And everyone's giving me shit, like Ron and Mark, and, oh, you're scared of the Rona. And you know who left early? Ron. You know who I'm going to have to hear all this shit from about for the next 2 weeks? Ron. Like, Oh, he's so tough. He's so tough when he's in a crowd. I'm just Ron. That's our uncle. So we got an Uncle Ron. Zach, do you want to tell people who you are, by the way? Well, who is Zach? Please let our listeners know who our special guest is.
I am a longtime listener to this podcast.
First time call.
Have you
First time call.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the first one?
No. But you're supposed to say you have. If you guest on a podcast, it's always bad for him to say, no, I've never. I intended to listen to the podcast, which is more than a lot of people can say.
You know what?
Anyway, Zach Weber is
Sounds
Zach.
like shit.
Zach Weber is a friend of mine. Zach Urok is our cousin on the Urok side.
That's true. I'm only a one-time cousin, not a two-time cousin.
No,
like
we
them.
are two-time cousins, Ethan and I. Ethan, you want to explain what it means to be a double cousin?
Double cousin. It's where the sisters marry brothers.
That's some Kansas shit right there.
Yes, but no same gene pool mixing. So it's not like an Arkansas situation.
No,
Like,
there's
do we have
no.
listeners in Arkansas?
We may after this one.
Good Lord, I'm gonna get doxxed by the Arkansasers. I'm sorry, Arkansas. I'm sure your
Just
state
make
is
sure you come
lovely.
out with your
See,
hands
this
up.
is
Don't-
Zach. He's so worried that he'll start a mob, even if it's Arkansas.
You did hear
Arkansas
about
is
this shit
close.
in Wichita, right? With the guy who got shot, he got doxxed.
Was he from Arkansas?
No, the guy. So he got doxxed. Oh no, that's not what happened. So these two guys were online, and one guy said, "Give me your address," and the other guy gave him a random address in Wichita. So this random guy who had nothing to do with the situation online, the cops come to his house because they got a bomb threat called against this guy. That's just this random guy in Wichita, and the cops come and they're like, "Come out with your hands up," and he comes out, and he's just really confused because he's just a random guy who just got woken up from his sleep. And he didn't put his hands up, I think, like immediately. And so they shot him, killed him.
That's horrifying.
It's horrible, right? All right, so we got to get if we're going to get into heavy issues, let's talk about the Rona.
I would rather eat a bullet.
That's all anybody's ever talked about. It's the Rona.
I'm so sick of all these heavy issues.
You're
Nobody
sick?
wants to listen
He's
to me.
sick.
I am sick.
He's sick.
He's sick, and he's here with all of us getting us sick.
I am, and let the record show I am not 6 feet from anyone.
You're
That's a
six-
lie,
You're
though.
6 feet from
Yeah.
me and Jacob,
No, I'm 6 feet from basically everyone.
except Heidi.
But the listeners can't see that.
We went to a wedding last night, so we did a lot of Rona spreading.
And this is like we get out of church and everybody immediately takes off their masks. Well, finally I can breathe. Like the dance is where it's going to be
The
worse.
dance is I mean that's why I left before the dance is because like
Oh no,
what?
no, you didn't leave because that's where the Rona was going to spread the worst,
That's exactly why I left.
dude.
Why do you keep assuming the worst possible reasons for me doing things?
Because I'll tell you why. I remember a man. His name was Jacob too. He was younger and more full of life, probably had more hair, but past Jacob would have never left to dance after the meal. He would have stuck through it. Even if the dance club was on fire, which is more of a threat than Rona, he would have kept dancing. He would have kept dancing
Look,
while he was on fire.
This is true of
Jacob on fire.
This is true of me still today, but it's more like
You did it. You
I sacrificed a dance with lots of beautiful young single women for the sake of the public good.
Heidi, what did you say? What do you say? Not enough single women?
I don't know if you're down thumbing the women or my reasoning.
Yeah, but you're never gonna catch anything if you don't.
To
throw the
me,
line out
all
there.
women are single.
You are a scumbag, sir.
That is what a scumbag would say.
Yeah.
I was even hesitant to come to the ceremony and the reception because I believe people should be distancing, and I believe it's just now. I believe before when everybody was freaking out, it really wasn't bad yet, but I think now it is bad. So I think the measures we were taking at the start of it are actually suitable for this time and place. However, everyone I think freaked themselves out too badly before they should have, and now they don't want to think about how scared they are. And they wore themselves out by being too much alone, and they're kind of pussies about it. So now they all want to get together, and I think that now is the time that we really should be doing social distancing, wearing masks, making sure we're practicing really good hygiene. So I think now is now's the important time. So that is why I was hesitant to go, but I went because I told Kaylin I would go, and if it was anybody that wasn't Kaylin, I wouldn't have gone. But since I care about Kaylin, I felt like I should go. And I really felt the dance was probably the best opportunity for the spread. And it's not about me. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to die. But I think for the larger good of society, we ought to be doing things like this. And so I personally abstained from the dance as and anyone who knows me will know, is about as big a sacrifice as I can make.
Not true. Oh shit.
Ethan will believe whatever awful thing he wants to about me
No.
just so it makes him feel better.
No, it doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel sad that Jacob, the guy who tore dances apart, left because of Rona.
I mean, it's going to be over in 8 months. Like, we're going to have drugs by December, and we're going to have a vaccine by next spring. Like, it's almost over. Can't we hold out for another half a year?
Jacob, it's not even Rona. You just missed the dance, dude. You came, you saw everybody, and then you left when they most needed you.
But did you feel
You know,
betrayed by
you-
my absence?
Jacob, you don't understand. There was hardly any Urox dancing.
I heard the dance floor was full, though.
It was full of freaking, and I mean, congrats to John and Kaylin, first off.
Yeah, so we have a cousin and Zach's sister,
This
Caitlin Yurok.
podcast is all about
Why don't we
cousins.
give everyone all the family details?
Like everybody's this is Dad, this is our cousin Travis, this is Kate, this is yeah.
So you've met approximately 2% of the Yurok family so far.
So our cousin Caitlin, Zach's sister, and her now husband.
Good
John
Lord.
Monroe.
What's
There's
social security number, Jacob?
It starts with the number 9. It'll be 9
Actually,
for you folks.
if
there
you
will
were
be
born
another
in
number
Kansas,
revealed every
You
subsequent
could tell,
podcast.
if you were born in Kansas, it probably starts with 511, does it not? Or 512?
Can we not do social security number discussions?
Somebody's scared. We threw it out there. Somebody's slipping out.
Ethan, put down my social security card.
It's funny when you're yeah.
You were going to say props to Caitlin and John for what?
Getting married.
in the church.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic day. Beautiful
Beautiful.
day. Problem.
Very tan.
Problem. Jam-packed dance floor, very fun. There were Yurocks there till it closed. But when you left, when Seth left, when Al left, before the dancing even started, was just disheartening.
In all fairness, the dancing started quite a bit later than was anticipated.
Also, you can't put all your dance faith in one man. I have.
It's a trio.
You
though.
did this.
It's-
It wasn't like this until you started dancing. You took the glory. You took the responsibility. And what did you do? You had this power. You earned it. You worked for it. And then you threw it in the street to the pigs.
You did have a reputation as kind of the party starter on the dance floor.
To deny that you hold some kind of weight, that you were unfairly given it? No. You're not the victim here. We're the victims here.
Abandoned when we most needed it.
Well, anywho, this dance party was just a little weird in the fact that there was a lot of like young adults out there that we didn't know.
Well, we are getting old.
But they all graduated with us.
We're
Most
still
of them
Did
did.
they?
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
probably
young.
know more than you do.
Well, I was shut up in my house studying all the time.
Studying.
Freaking Zach.
Studying.
We want to talk about Zach in college. Hey, Zach, I'm in town. You want to hang out? Don't hear from him for 3 freaking days.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there stroking his pistol.
That is not a euphemism. I was in fear for my life and had a handgun.
Yeah, like
A legally obtained handgun.
I was on a
Zach, do you
run.
want to tell them your story about?
I was on a run and I went to get a glass of water and I walked in their house and homeboy pulls around the corner aiming at my throat.
Ethan decides he's going to break into my house without prior
Unlock
notice
the
that he
door.
was coming
It
there.
was an unlocked door and I said hello and then what am I going to get? I'm going to get a 45 through the mouth.
I would just like to point out 2 inaccuracies there. You didn't shout out hello, and if Ethan shouts, you hear it. I was
No.
in the next room. He did not shout hello.
I didn't
and it was
shout
not
it,
a
I said it.
45, it was a 40. So, 40 Smith & Wesson. It's a different caliber.
Man, dude, Atchison, Kansas. So that's where we were. We're outside of Atchison, Kansas, which is
Give everyone our location. This is lovely.
basically
Just all the personal details.
basically Missouri. This is where Kansas
you
becomes
left
Missouri.
Atchison, though. Everybody's at
It's
Atchison.
full of meth heads. It smells. It smells really bad.
Gosh dang, it's a magical place.
You got it. You just it's like where you take a shit. Like every house, if Kansas is a house, Atchison is the shitter.
I do not agree with those comments.
What would you say then?
I think Atchison's a fine city.
Did you ever read my Atchison poem? Yes. I'm working on a story right now about the end of the world. It's called The Coming of. I can't say it.
Don't talk about your writings here.
Why?
Because we need listeners.
I don't think we do. I'd prefer nobody listen to this, and then we dump all the personally identifiable information from this, and preferably our last names as well.
Zach,
I wanted an assumed name for this podcast. I really did.
what do you want? What do you want to talk about, Zach? What is something you want?
What do you want?
Stop
Well,
it. I mean, honestly, because like
Gotta
when you
yell.
die and go to heaven, like, isn't there something where everybody will know the truth of who you are?
And that's fine after we're all dead. But in the meantime, I've got mouths to feed and a job I'd like to keep.
Understandably, but like, is it really bad to have an opinion out there,
Yes, that is correct.
dude?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Like, what level? Because, cancel culture, right?
Yes.
Okay. Should
This I
we
will
be
talk
fighting
about.
back against cancel culture? Because as someone who tries to make art, not saying I'm good.
Cancel. What'd you say?
Cancel
Cancel
culture,
What's cancel culture?
where you get canceled for your beliefs. So if you put something out there that people don't agree with, the Twitter mob or the Facebook mob come after you and basically ruin your real life. They'll get you fired from your job or get you put in a rubber room. It's very effective at just destroying people. It's the death of free speech without any sort of legal
Heidi,
measures.
Can you turn off the AC, please?
Because now people aren't comfortable sharing their actual
the
views
side.
or opinions, much like myself,
Side of the wall, man.
for fear of them coming back to bite you later. So I think it's best to keep yourself closed off from the public sphere. Why did I say spear?
Spear or sphere.
Because
both works.
society is
The public
a sphere.
sphere.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Like,
Ooh, that's
if you're
good.
someone who's a creator, right, or if you're just someone who has an opinion, so two things. Two things?
Yeah.
Two things. We got time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got nothing but time.
Nothing but time. Nothing but time and content.
Well, the content thing's a little iffy.
Nothing but time and time.
I like that.
That'd be a good love song. Anyway. Or it could be like a good like clockmakers, like two clockmakers, talking like we got nothing but time and time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you should write a story and then remember your story
And say it verbatim in the podcast.
and then reference it for future podcasts.
Anyway, what was that? Oh, yeah. So two things. One is like, as someone who creates, right, even if you're not a good creator, first of all, everyone's bad. Everyone is bad when they start creating. And most people just stay bad. And maybe you get better, but you may not reach the heights you want to reach. So, like, one, it's like, you got to have the freedom to suck, one. And you got to have the freedom to make literally whatever you want to. Because, like, you're not making propaganda. You're making an expression. So you need the freedom to make whatever you want. So that's part of my problems with cancel culture is, one, people are just going to suck. People are going to grow. You got to like sort through your own toxic shit. To get rid of your toxic shit. Because if you just repress it, it festers. So
That's
like,
why kids, if they hear a bad word,
Your mic, man.
they can hear me.
Yeah, you're not in line with it, though.
Yeah, I'm right in I'm literally 2 inches below where it was at. Anywho, when kids hear a curse word, they are bound to say it later.
Right. So
that's that's hearing vice, that's taking a bite of the apple and knowing.
So yeah, by going so hard against people who have an opinion contrary to what we want them to have, all we're really doing is strengthening it through quartering it off. And we're making enemies, and then you're making enemies too. So you have people that just want to fight you. You know what I mean? Instead of engaging in a rational debate over your ideas, and if your ideas are strong enough, you should be able to debate them and convince other people. You shouldn't have to shame them into believing what you think they should believe. I think Zach agrees with me.
Yeah, but largely it's about punishing people for their
Taboo.
incorrect beliefs.
But I think the other problem, and I think this is something I've been hearing on Joe Rogan's podcast, and but anyway, it's this idea that basically intersectionality, right? That there are certain people who have privileged access to truth. Like Lana. You ever heard of Lana Del Rey?
Yo, shit. Hell yeah.
You know Lana.
Lana, yeah.
Lana Del Rey. Okay.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey, friend of the pod.
Summertime and the living's easy.
Oh, you know that song.
Ba-da-da. Oh, dude.
That's one of the new ones, though.
That's beautiful.
That's a great dude.
Can you sing a couple more bars of that so a copyright strike makes it be taken down?
Fly me to the
Because I know
moon.
all these
And
uncomfortable
let me
conversations
sing
will make this podcast
forevermore.
because it's got Jacob making his favorite
Zach
voice.
is all I worship, all I long for, and adore.
This was a massive mistake.
In other words, give me your opinion.
You should never share opinions with the world.
In other words, have a soul. Tell me what you think
What do
of
you
protesters in the street.
No, thank you.
Tell me, are they right?
Or
Or could they possibly be wrong?
No comment.
Oh, Zachary,
Zachary.
open up to me. Oh, Zachary, tell me what you think.
I don't want to talk about anything that matters because a lot of people don't want to consume media that brings them back into the reality of the world. They want
That's the same thing
escapism.
with the mask thing. No one wants to. You know why people don't want to wear the masks and why they don't want to stay home?
Oh my god!
It's not because they really believe that it's time to start living their lives, and it's not because they really believe they don't work. It's because they want to convince themselves that they're not afraid, and those measures remind them of their own fear.
No. They just
That's
don't-
very profound, but I
they
don't think
like
people
somebody
think
telling
on
them
that
what to
level.
do.
I think people are just bored at home. You can only
People
watch
that
so
like
much
masks
Netflix.
they like to tell other people to wear masks. The people that don't wear the mask don't like being told they have to wear the mask.
I'm not telling anybody
This
they
is
have
the
to do
giant.
anything. I just
no,
think
no,
there's
no.
a.
You're saying that's the reason. I'm saying that's not the right reason.
You think it's all about reactionaryism.
So absolutely.
You think the more they're told to do something, the less they
yes.
want to do it.
There's
Little
two
rebel
brothers.
streak.
Well, for the sake of argument, we'll just rename them Jacob and Seth. One does not like to be told he has to wear a mask, and the other one likes telling the other to wear a mask. And so
I haven't been a preacher. I have been.
I'm not talking
I've been
about
trying
you.
I've been trying this. I made a point yesterday not to freaking tell anybody my opinion without
know,
being asked.
I know.
I made a point not to freaking force my shit on anyone else. I'm just gonna do what I think people should do.
I know. I'm not
and leave
talking
it at
about
that.
you. I'm not talking.
So
about
don't
you.
use my name,
I was using a different Jacob.
Jacob.
And a different Seth, not your brother Seth, a different one.
Not the two people identically named that were at the wedding.
No,
Right,
I
no.
don't think that at all. And I think, yeah, when you're talking to people about an issue, they automatically put you in the opposite position if it's not what they want to hear. No, I
Right,
don't
they
think,
just
I don't
lump
think
you
were
in with
ba-
the people they already
I
they
don't-
lump you with all their preconceived ideas of what you're going to argue for.
Right. I don't think you're bad about any of that. It's just, like we have so many people named other names. I just like using Jacob and Seth as another group of people that are
How
also
about
brothers.
Tacitus and Lucretius?
I don't even.
Oh, I like
Lucretius.
Tacitus.
Are you a Tacitus guy?
I like a little Tacitus.
No, Tacitus.
Do you
I
like
like the
Lucretius?
Stoics as well.
Oh, Epictetus I fuck with.
Yeah. I think there's
Marcus Aurelius is a little dry.
It is, but I think the Roman philosophers are kind of overlooked just because of the powerhouse
I mean
Greeks.
they're pretty derivative though, like Roman philosophy. Cicero, he's just repeating the Peripatetics.
But the
and
true
shit.
stoicism is very much a Roman characteristic.
What have you guys been reading? What have you been watching?
I have children. I see almost no movies.
Dude, I am so tired of you saying you have children. and
Well, I do have
I
children.
have children. I can't walk.
You just get a little bit more
I can't,
creative
though.
and
I'm
come up
very
with other
tired and
excuses
sore.
I can't
for the
take-
reason
I
you don't
can't-
do stuff.
Dude, you got such a fun wife. Why can't you be more fun?
Yeah, Jenna is the freaking bomb.
You've known
bro.
me a large portion of my life. When have I ever been fun?
You are always fun. We always have fun with you. We always have fun with
We
you.
always had to. We always had to push you a little
We always
farther.
push you and then you're fun.
It's like
Wow, that's largely a factor of sleep deprivation.
you are a wonderful walnut, and me and Jacob are just seeds from a
Nutcrackers?
maple. Well, you don't have to crack us open. We just already fly. You have so much protein and life within you. You just need to get cracked a little bit.
Crack him.
Crack them. Get a little.
Don't
crack.
you either of you
Yeah,
move
okay.
in my direction. I'm not sure if this is a metaphor or what's really going to happen.
Gosh.
Maggie was trying to be my wing woman yesterday. Like,
Whatever. It's hard to be your wing woman when you're wing.
was Maggie mad that
maid-
I left?
Yes, everybody.
Wing! I couldn't fly!
I would never wingman Jacob.
I was
Never?
afraid to be responsible.
Why?
It's
To be with strangers, not people I knew.
no, see, it's still bound to end in disaster. It's like being Luke Skywalker's wingman on the Death Star run. You're getting killed first. It's ending poorly for you. He's probably gonna watch you.
What am I
crash
gonna
into
do that's gonna make someone die in my fighter plane?
metaphorically die?
Give me an example. I am.
My laser.
See, the
my
problem.
laser bird.
The problem with you, Jacob, is you're a wild card. You're so unpredictable that there's no
I'm
way of
very
knowing how it would
predictable.
end. You are not as predictable as you seem to think you are. There's a reason people don't freely hand you microphones.
We were supposed to be the MCs at this wedding. We got hired and fired.
Okay, no.
Neither
I
of
got
those things are
hired.
true.
This is what happened. I got hired without being told I was fired. Zach was fired without being told he was hired, and nothing happened to Jacob.
Ethan told me
he
I was
assumed he
hired.
was hired, and
told me
he
I
was
was
fired.
Yeah, Jacob was never in the discussion, so I don't know why Ethan told him he was in on it.
Yeah.
Maybe to get him razzed up a little bit.
What's some shit that pisses us off?
I mean, we kind of talked
City
about
drivers, if we're being honest, like Kansas
Shitty
City
drivers?
drivers. Oh
Yes.
my gosh!
Well, yeah.
As we were driving up for the wedding, there was like someone that was in the center lane trying to turn left, and there's a left turn lane, and they're just blocking all the traffic.
People who
That-
don't
that
use the
was
turn
traffic.
signal.
That was
people,
me.
If I'm making a left turn and I can make it, but someone's coming the other way, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna let him go. And then they start slowing down.
Yeah,
and then
instinctively.
then they're like, right. It starts slowing down right at the intersection. They turn right. I would murder them. Like there's a 10-second window in which if I could commit murder in 10 seconds, I would commit murder. I would violate them for that decision.
It's just so weird how your blood gets so hot so
Just-
quick with
dude,
with
why is it that like normally
impolite
you wouldn't
traffic.
kill somebody in Walmart for that shit, but
No.
you would kill somebody on the road.
You can run into me with a cart at
somewhere
Walmart.
about-
Personally
All right,
identifiable
we're running up on
information.
the end, guys. I think because Ethan can't take anymore. He's
Dude,
about ready to burst.
we got one more minute till
Anybody?
solid 12
Any last words? Any closing thoughts?
This has been horrifying. This has been painful and excruciating. I don't want my information out there, and I think it would be wise to erase me from this podcast.